This week, instead of a Fix It Friday, we bring you a Friends on Friday. We join Stefan and Emma's boat, Pintail. So this is a Moody Marksman 47 SV Pintail. So that's a Manson anchor as opposed to a Rockner.
Yeah, and our view was it's a better anchor and it's half the price of the Rockner. Both are made in New Zealand, close to each other. I think Rockner people buy them just because of the name.
And what's the weight of that one?
I think it's 30 kilos. But what we found also is that the chain's as important as the anchor. So we've got 60 metres of 12mm chain and another 60 metres of 8-played rope on there, and hopefully it will hold boats. This is an ocean going boat, it weighs nearly 20 tonnes, so our anchors obviously needs to be big, and it's quite important for us. We spend a lot of time at anchor. So this is the sail locker, generally where people keep their sails when there's a large crew, because we've got about 98 square metres of sail on this boat, and lifting them up and out of there, we can't just can't do it on with two of us. So we've got a far more important thing in there, which is our washing machine. When you're cruising around and living on your boat, a washing machine is one of the most important things you can have, and it keeps the missus happy as well. Okay, so with a central rigging on the boat, we've got a keel stepped mast. That means that the mast goes right down to the keel. Some boats don't, the mast sits on the deck. The boat's rigged in stainless steel standing rigging, all oversized to support the immense loads on the mast. One thing that was important to us when we bought the boat is that the mast's an infurling mast. What that means is that we can operate everything on this boat without having to leave the cockpit. Okay, so when we bought the boat, one of the things that was really important to us was having a very good tender. You'll see lots of people in marinas with a little 2 horsepower outboard putting around. We decided we wanted to do a lot of sort of onshore visits via our tender, so we've got a 20 horsepower Honda, and we've got a rib that's sitting down there. We carry the tender and the outboard on the davits at the back, so we just have it out of the water all the time. It's a bit more secure like that. And we also carry a spare tender and a spare outboard, just in case we're going into areas where there's maybe some security concerns. It's not as big an issue if that one gets nicked. So this is the centre cockpit boat. As I mentioned earlier, it's very important for us being only a crew of 2. We can operate everything inside this boat from the cockpit. We don't have to leave the cockpit at all. The winches here are operating the mainsail, and the winches to either side are operating the genoa. The boat's got full auto helm, so she drives herself when we've programmed in a track, so we don't even have to sit at the helm. It does it all for us. Okay, so this is the Nav Station on SV Pintail, or as we call it, the office. We do all of our navigation here from whilst we're sailing the boat, and also it's our communication area as well. So we have long range SSB radio, and we have VHF radio for short distance communications. We can also look at our tracks. We have weather receiving data from here as well, and also this is all of our electrical controls, generator controls, and basically everything for the boat's operation from here. Okay, so this is equipment that's extremely important, but also equipment that we never want to really use. We have a EPIRB, which when contacted with water sends a global signal out via satellite, where it's guaranteed that the signal will be picked up within 15 minutes of activation anywhere in the world. And also our life raft. Life raft's incredibly important, particularly when you're sort of hundreds of miles offshore. It's an offshore life raft. Works very well for us. Well, we hope it will. So we're now under where we started. So this is looking at our sail locker, and there are normally sails in here. Actually, they stack up in front of the washing machine. All of our lines are in here. Access to our anchor lockers behind the washing machine. This is our boom tent that covers the whole of the back of the boat to keep the shade off. Our water maker is here. That's a machine that turns salt water into fresh water. It's a lovely thing to have when you're not in marinas all of the time. This toilet here goes to our holding tanks, so we're not discharging into marinas and stuff like that. We can store things until we're out of sea. And then sort of moving back, there are 2 cabins either side, each with 2 bunks in. So this is our saloon, or our living room. We spend a lot of time in here, particularly when it's a bit cooler. We're very lucky because we've just had all these cushions recovered and new carpets throughout, so it feels like we've put our mark on the boat now. Moving back into the galley, we have a cooker. I guess you'd expect to see that in a galley, but unlike ones at home, the cooker moves around. As the boat's heeling, the cooker stays level, so we're able to do our cooking as the boat's moving. Standard sort of kitchen stuff: cupboards, 2 sinks, fire blanket, and everything else you'd expect to find. Then moving back, we come into our cabin. All the beddings are just being washed at the moment, but one of the benefits of a centre cockpit boat is that you end up with a full double aft cabin, which is one of the things that we really wanted, and we're very happy with. The boat, I didn't mention this earlier, the boat's fully air conditioned, which maybe sounds a bit of overkill, but in the summer when we experience 40 degrees, it's a lovely thing to have. But to have that, you need 240 volts, so we've got a diesel generator as well to run the air conditioning.
Well, it was time for Stefan and Emma to set off on their summer cruise. Hopefully our paths will meet again, and we'll meet them in some sunny anchorages for sundowners. In the meantime, thanks for letting us come aboard, guys, and we'll see you soon. Safe sailing.